Hello all you Reddit fans. Today we have two stories from Surviving Infidelity. One deals with a crazy situation between four people and their inability to use birth control. The other deals with a 10-year relationship that changed when the woman got pregnant. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. This story is titled, "He Said He Did It Because My Ex Emasculated Him." My boyfriend and I started dating when we were 14. A year after graduating and getting our first real jobs, he broke up with me because he needed time to find himself and figure out what he wanted. And it wouldn't be fair to me for him to make me wait around for him. I was devastated, but I agreed to give him space. I found out a month later that he was dating a coworker. Devastated doesn't even begin to describe how I felt. It took me a whole year before I was finally starting to get over him. I didn't want a relationship, so I started a friends with benefits arrangement with Luke. When my boyfriend found out, he dumped his girlfriend and came crawling back. He claimed he made a mistake and only realized when he thought he was losing me forever. I still loved him a lot, so I decided to try again. I then found out I was pregnant, and the timing didn't work out for the baby to be my boyfriend's. He wanted me to abort, and when I said I couldn't do it, he broke up with me again and sent me a picture of him kissing the girl he left me for originally. I respected his decision, even though he would occasionally send me messages to give me false hope. I eventually blocked him for my own sanity. Around this time, I got into some financial difficulties and had a horrible reality check on just how expensive babies are. Luke offered to let me stay with him temporarily and then let me move into a house he owned. We formed a great co-parenting relationship, but I could never get over my ex, so nothing more happened between us. My boyfriend and I started dating again when my son was 2.5. He also had a 9-month-old daughter at this point with his ex. He moved in with me and things were great for the most part. There was a lot of tension between Luke and my boyfriend though. He would get mad whenever he came over to spend time with our son or when he would get things for him. My boyfriend was very vocal about how he thought Luke was going to turn my son into a spoiled brat and would tell me all of the ways he would parent him differently. Things started getting bad when my boyfriend started voicing his criticism to Luke, who didn't take too kindly to being told how to be a dad. I begged my boyfriend to stop, but he wouldn't, and it eventually got so bad that Luke told him he'd evict him if he didn't learn to shut up. My boyfriend was furious at me. He claimed I should have told him Luke was the landlord and he had assumed the house was mine. A few months after this, my boyfriend started acting weird. He would get angry at me whenever I had to talk to Luke. He would accuse me of sleeping with him and thought I was the reason Luke broke up with his girlfriend. He claimed he had evidence and if I confessed, he would forgive me. I tried everything to convince him it was all in his head. Eventually he told me if I told Luke I couldn't speak to him anymore outside of a parenting app, he would forgive me, and things could go back to how they were before. I agreed, but when I told Luke, he kept pushing for a reason. It was humiliating to admit, but he was the one who told me my boyfriend was probably projecting. It took me 2 whole months to muster up the courage to check his phone, and it was all there. He wasn't even trying to hide it. He was sleeping with his daughter's mother again and had been for 6+ months. They were expecting a second child, and my boyfriend was making promises that he would kick me out of the house so her and their kids could move in. I confronted him and he barely reacted at first. It was only when I told him to leave that he broke down crying. He said he only did it because I had let Luke disrespect him time and time again. That he had felt emasculated and needed the validation to feel secure in our relationship. How none of this would have happened if I had just got the abortion. He said he was sorry and begged me for a second chance. It's been a month, and at first, we started having tons of sex and he was acting super loving and was offering to move mountains if it meant I would give him a second chance. Now he refuses to talk about his cheating and acts like it never happened. If I try to push the issue, he gets angry and scary. He thinks I should be over it already since he had a good reason for doing it, and he stopped as soon as he said he would, but I just can't. I think about it constantly. I obsess over it every time he goes to see his daughter, or he leaves the house. He wants us to get married soon, but the thought of marrying him makes me sick. I don't know how to get over this. How do you get over your partner's affair? Comment 1. Second chance. That was at least the 4th chance by my count. Why do you keep letting him in and expecting things to be different? This relationship is a crap show. Y'all weren't made to be together. I know y'all have history. But since the first time you broken up when he cheated, it's been crap. Now kids are being dragged through this mess and toxic environment. Move on. He is who he is. A terrible life partner. Quit giving him chances and expect change. You are stuck in the sunk cost fallacy, thinking you can get back what you've already lost. Nope. Learn to love yourself first and foremost. Recognize the kind of relationship and environment you want to raise your kids in and what you need to personally be happy. Please strive for peace in your life. It will never happen with him in it, and y'all luckily have no children together, so y'all can truly disconnect and move on and start planning a happier future separate. Comment 2. Okay, so regular advice for young, unmarried people is get out ASAP. This is the biggest lifeline you have ever been granted. He showed you who he is before you got more entangled. In a twisted manner, there is literally no better situation for you to have been betrayed. No shared assets, no kids, no house, no marriage, no problem. Dating is marriage tryouts. He failed tryouts. You don't sign a contract with a dude who's conned you once already. That's just asking to be conned again. Decide the amount of torture you will take. Hope you don't take much. Don't sleep with him without condoms. Can't catch a STD. STD test ASAP. Some STDs are harder to detect in women. Not trying to frighten you, but HPV can cause cervical cancer. Please get checked ASAP. The betrayal trauma will never completely go away because you will never be able to forget the biggest trigger, i.e. wayward spouse. I've heard of BS triggering 20 years down the line after D-Day. Your mileage may vary. Might be once in a blue moon, but why live like this? Stay extremely frosty. You're still in the thick of it. Protect yourself. Comment 3. I don't think that relationship is salvageable. Too much toxicity that sounds like it's based on previous heartbreaks. I recently had to stop talking to an ex for the same reason. No matter how much chemistry we had, we'd always end up angry for some dumb reason. We just aren't compatible. Comment 4. You have to unravel all the crap. You, meaning him, as part of you too. Mostly him, really. There are ways to deal with things that don't involve making it worse. I personally don't buy the emasculation reason. No doubt he has some bad feelings about your child's father, Luke, who was able to provide for you things apparently he was unwilling or unable to. Even more so, you have bad feelings about what went on with his affair, but you are not having an affair to make you feel better about yourself. You have to figure out what is acceptable, and what is not acceptable in various situations related to other people in general, and exes and parents of your children in specific. As far as your feelings about the affair, it takes time, but also, it takes him doing things to prove to you that he is committed and not wanting to cheat again. Given that he has cheated several times, you also have to consider that he might be unable to stop cheating. It may just be some flaw he has tried to overcome and can't, or he never really tried. If he is thinking his cheating is justified, you are not even on the first step in getting over it. Comment 5. During your entire story you use the term, my boyfriend, for this dude even when he was with another woman. He repeatedly breaks up with you. This boyfriend is bad. Bad for you, bad for your child, and certainly bad for your relationship with the father. I think it is time for you to do some adulting. Kick out the boyfriend, focus on you, your child, and possibly see where things go with Luke. Honestly, why would Luke allow your boyfriend to live in his house? I have no idea. He is a bigger person than me. Many men would not even have allowed you to live there while you were jumping between men. I wish you well. Comment 6. I'm probably not the first to ask this, but do you two know what condoms are? Or other forms of birth control for that matter. This is not a healthy environment to raise kids in. This story is titled, Do I Stay or Do I Go? A very long story, so here it goes. My boyfriend and I have been together 10 years. 9 out of the 10 years were great, no problems. Our 9th year together we decided to have a baby. Fast forward 3 months and boom, I was pregnant. When I told him I was pregnant, he wasn't happy. When this was a mutual agreement, barely supported me through my pregnancy, didn't ask about doctor's appointments, would forget I had appointments, and clearly was not excited. Fast forward to 4 months pregnant, he joined Fling.com, Ashley Madison, Secret Benefits, Meet Locals, and an F-Buddy app, saying on his profile that he was with a girl that he loved but wasn't sexually attracted to. I didn't find this out until I was 6 months pregnant. I don't know if it was a coincidence, but a guy that I went to high school with messaged me when I was pregnant, and was saying how pretty I was, etc. And we chatted for a month or so, and I vented to him about how I knew my boyfriend had those profiles. My boyfriend found out about the talks and tried to blame me for everything. Stupidly, I stayed because I was pregnant and scared. Being a first-time mom, I didn't want to do it by myself, even if that means doing it with someone who was gaslighting me. When I was 8 months pregnant, he changed. He was supportive, kind, excited, and seemed to be different, so I stayed. We had the baby and brought the baby home with us, and 1 month later he went back into fling.com and began chatting with another girl from a different state. He tried to chat with a few girls, but most of them didn't answer. I hacked into his account, found out all his passwords, and confronted him, and he denied it, and then when I had proof, he said he couldn't lie to me and told me the truth. He's now saying he's sexually attracted to me, but what changed? I'm not pregnant anymore. Why go back on fling.com if he is attracted to me? He then admits he has a porn problem. To which I agree. This is the second strike. Do I really sit and wait for strike 3 and you're out? Do they really change? He deleted all the profiles, but I feel as though it's a vicious cycle. I know I deserve better, but why do I feel like I need to stay? So many questions and so many thoughts. Comment 1. He didn't change the first time you caught him. What makes you think he'll change this time? Sounds guilty, not remorseful. Also, do you want a partner who treats you this way at your most vulnerable? It's clear you are viewed as desirable outside this relationship. Comment 2. He doesn't have a porn problem, he just uses that to make you feel sympathy for him. He has a cheating wandering eye problem and sounds like he doesn't get much interest, and that's why he stays. He only never physically cheated because he never had the opportunity. He won't hesitate when he gets one. Comment 3. You need to see his actions, not words. Has he gotten into individual therapy? Did he have a problem with porn the 9 years before pregnancy? Or is he blowing smoke up his behind? Comment 4. Why, just why, are you still with this guy? You had another guy interested, and for some reason, he wasn't good enough, but the whole guy was. I get you have a kid, but he doesn't seem that interested in being a dad. It still boggles my mind when I hear stories like this. The old adage, you reap what you sow, applies here. You're going to keep getting the same crap with this guy. Thank you so very much for listening. Please check out my other videos and like and subscribe.